Hello friends, today we will discuss CRO lecture number 2 and today first topic is the skin of the CRO or the skin of the CRT. Both are same because CRT is the heart of your CRO. Okay, now the front of the CRT is called the faceplate. So the front panel of the CRO is called the faceplate. Now this faceplate is consist of mainly two type of material. It may be consist of from a molten glass or nowadays it may be fabricated from fiber optics material. Now this faceplate may be made some slightly curved to get some amount of larger display. Now as I've said earlier, the main phenomenon for the light emitting phenomenon of the CRT or the CRO is fluorescence. So all of you know that the faceplate, this is the faceplate. So the faceplate of the CRO is coated with the phosphorus because electron beam which is generated from the cathode or the heater striking the phosphorus skin and emitted some amount of light so that we can view the waveform on the skin. So the faceplate of the CRO or the CRT is coated with the phosphorus, different type of phosphorus material. Now the some property is that when the electron beam strikes the phosphorus, when an electron beam strikes the phosphorus, it raises their energy level. This phenomenon is called cathodoluminescence. When light is emitted from the phosphorus, it is called fluorescence. What I have told yesterday, it is called fluorescence. And whenever the electron beam is switched off, the phosphorus releases their energy and come back to initial state, and this is called the persistence. These three phenomena is actually happening in the phosphorus which is coated in the faceplate of the CRO. Next, as you can see that different type of material, different isotope of phosphorus is associated with different color, so that we can say different view of the waveform. Next, you can see that as I have told that this is the different type of phosphorus isotope that is responsible for different type of color. Okay, so this is for this color yellow green, and the energy level is this, and the application of this there is different type of area. Okay, so this was the phosphorus, different phosphorus characteristics. Now the second most important thing along with the phosphorus coating in the faceplate is that a thin film of metal which is generally called the aluminium, which is coated on the opposite side of the phosphorus. That means this was your faceplate. In the front side phosphorus is coated, in the back side the thin metal aluminium is actually deposited. Now this has very advantages. First advantages is that whenever electron beam striking the phosphorus skin is actually generating some amount of heat energy. Now this metal layer acts as a heat sink and reduces the danger of phosphorus to burn, because if the temperature is continue to rise, there is some mechanism as used in computer also, there must need a heat sink material. So now this heat sink material is provided in the CRO in the form of the aluminium coating which is provided in the back plate of the CRO. Now second thing is that the light scattered from the phosphorus is reduced and the aluminium reflect the light so that the viewer can view the waveform with a very high increasing brightness. And the third advantage is that whenever phosphorus releases the secondary electrons means whenever phosphorus is gaining some amount of energy, so that they again their energy level is actually increases, so that some amount of electrons from the outer cell may be emitted from the phosphorus, so these electrons are called the secondary electrons. So these secondary electrons are actually collected by the aqueduct. What is aqueduct? I have tell you later, but first of all you all know that whenever electron beam is, there is an electron beam which is moving very fast rate, generating from the cathode or the heater, then it is striking the phosphorus skin. There is a different type of phosphorus atom is there. Whenever electron is striking the phosphorus skin, their energy level is actually increases. At their energy level is increases, they actually tries to emit the electron, because this electron energy level is also outer cell energy level is higher. So these electrons are called the secondary electrons, which we don't want in the skin, so that these secondary electrons is actually collected by aqueduct. And if these electrons are deposited on the skin, then the skin become the negatively charged. Okay, so the accelerating electron which is generating from the cathode may not reach the skin due to the repulsion effect. Okay, so aqueduct plays a very important role here, which is used for collecting the secondary electrons. Now aluminum layer, this charge buildup is also prevented by the aluminum layer, which is connected electrically to the aqueduct layer. Okay, now along with the phosphorus, this aluminum coating has equal amount of advantages in the faceplate of the CRO. Next, graticule. What do you mean by this graticule? Graticule is actually in the CRO, in the front panel of the CRO, all of you can see this type of grid. Okay, so this type of grid can be connected externally, can be made internally, which cannot be changed, or can be projected to make different type of measurement or different type of waveforms. So they are called the graticules. So graticule is a grid of lines that serve as a scale when making time or different type of analysis through the CRO. Now all of you seen this type of grid line. This grid line can be deposited when the time of fabrication of the CRO. This cannot be changed. That is called the internal graticule. External graticule can be placed here with the form of different type of skin material to measure different type of measurement, and projected graticules are different, which can be projected externally by means of any kind of projector to make different type of measurement. So this is your front panel of the CRO or the CRT skin. This is the electron beam, this is the CRT envelope. Phosphorus is actually coated here in the opposite side of the skin. Aluminum is actually in the 3D view. You can visualize the 3D view. Then you can see that the aluminum is coated here. Here is the phosphorus, electron beam is striking here, and this is an illustration of the parallax error. Okay, so graticule is outside all of this. Here is the graticule is placed. Okay, now if the viewer, this is the original position of the viewer. If the viewer can view the waveform from this side, there is no parallax error, and if the viewer can see from this side, there is a high chance of probability of the parallax error, which can be prevented or should be prevented to get the accurate result out of the measurement. So this is all about graticule. Next is aqueduct. Now aqueduct, I have said that the bombarding electron which is coming from the cathode or the heater, striking the skin and releases the secondary emission. Secondary emission means phosphorus is actually, this electron raises the energy level of the phosphorus, and the outer cell electrons of the phosphorus try to gain high amount of energy and releases from that orbit. So this is called the secondary electron. These secondary electrons can be deposited here on the front panel of the skin. That is very much not desired. Okay, if this is deposited on the skin, this electron will not get the high amount of accelerating velocity. So this is negative voltage, this is negative voltage, so both get repulsion effect. So that is prevented by the help of a aqueduct. and the aluminum layer in the opposite sides of the phosphorus is electrically connected to this aquaguard. So both the aqueduct and the aluminum layer prevented the emission of the secondary electrons, which can be deposited on the screen. Next is your skin of CRO. As you can see that this is the actual view of the skin of the CRO. So this grid line is actually called the graticules. Okay, and this is the smallest division which is used to measure different type of waveform. Waveform can be placed like that, which is used to measure onto the faceplate. Okay, so next is your time based generator. Now, as I have said that in the CRO there is two type of voltage or the plate is associated. First plate is X plate and second plate is Y plate. In the X plate, as I have said that this type of RAM voltage is connected. Okay, this is the X plate phenomenon, and in the Y plate the unknown voltage which I want to measure or we want to measure, that is connected. So that is connected to the Y plate, and the X plate, in the X plate there is internally generated waveform which is called the ramp or the sawtooth waveform. Now the sawtooth waveform look like this. Okay, it going at a very fast rate. This voltage is increasing, then is retraced back to 0, then again like that. Now this ramp voltage is generated or supplied to the X plate. Now during this effect of this ramp voltage or the sawtooth waveform, the electron moves. The electron beams with the effect of this voltage. The electron beam moves at a very fast rate or a very high velocity to this side of the skin to the other side of the skin, because the ramp voltage is increasing, and as the velocity is directly proportional to the voltage during this is called the sweep time. Okay, so during this sweep time, this horizontally the beam actually moves horizontally from that side of the skin to the other side of the skin. So I am repeating again, there is two type of voltage associated with the CRO. First one is your horizontal ramp voltage, which is generated internally, which is responsible for moving the electron beam from the left side of the skin to the right side of the skin. Okay, and the other signal is Y plate, which is the unknown voltage. That is not important here. Here is the X plate is associated. So this ramp voltage which is internally generated, this type of waveform is actually chosen. Time based generator circuit is actually the sawtooth waveform, because sawtooth waveform voltage is actually increasing linearly. It is a linear function of time because this is straight line. So this waveform can move the electron beam from the left side of the skin to the other side of the skin. And again in the retrace time, during the retrace time is very, as you can see that the retrace time is very less. So within that retrace time, it is moved back again to this back side or the left side. During this sweep time, it is moving from this side to that side, and during the retrace time, it is moving from right side to left side, and again retrace the waveform again and again. Okay, and we don't want to see this retrace time back of the electron beam or the waveform. So this is called the retrace time or the flyback time, and this is actually gated off, which blanks out the beam during the undesirable retrace pattern appearing on the screen. So in the simple words, during the retrace time of the electron beam from the right to left, we cannot see the waveform. Okay, so that is prevented internally. So that is your circuit which generates the ramp voltage. Here is the voltage VCC which charges the capacitor like that, and if this voltage is applied to here, then this is capacitor is actually discharges through this. So capacitor moves back to again 0 voltage. Again it is rising when this is off, then this voltage again charges this capacitor to here, and whenever again this voltage is applied to the transistor, then transistor is on, and then this capacitor voltage is totally discharged to 0. So this is your charging time, this is your discharging time, this is your sweep time, and this is called the sweep time, and this is called your retrace time. Okay, and the capacitor voltage is associated with this. And in the next page we will practice some of the example or the numerical example which is given on the next page. Thank you.